Warning: Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, and violence. Listener discretion advised. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I'm Robert, or Bayushi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Jeanne, and I am playing Doji Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Richi.
I'm Tiff, and I'm playing Kuni Yui.
I'm Paul, and I'm playing Shishiro Bisho.
Riding on the ox cart, you all pull it back into Plainsview Village about a week or so after you left after the fires. The smoke in the air has started to dissipate. Clear skies are starting to come back, and the village is kind of a thrum of activity. People kind of gathering together, still, making minor repairs here and there. People moving about in work groups to patch up the areas around the village that had been ignited. Luckily, none of the fire had reached the village, thanks to all of your efforts of galvanizing the villagers together to fight the fires and to go out and rescue the villagers and move them out of harm's way. But it is mostly just kind of in a bit of a cleanup mode right now and taking care of the surrounding areas. And you are greeted with a few welcoming cheers and waves of hello as you guys finally make your way back into the village after several days away. You kind of pull the ox cart up to the stables, and it's pretty quick to see that Yoichi is walking up towards the stables to meet up with you, making his way, telling a story to someone as he's walking along. Definitely nothing that is kind of making him overly quick to catch up with you. But when he finally does show up, the old man looks to all of you and says, well, I'm glad to see the cart has made it back all right, and that you all seem to be doing better now.
Indeed. Thank you for the use of the cart. It was very much helpful over our travels.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. The village, I let them know that you had all decided to borrow it to make some movements afterwards to help protect us a bit more. And with that, they all were happy to loan it out. A few people kind of grumbled, but they were always the discontents and the malcontents that always want to grumble about things. And he kind of looks around to your numbers as he reaches up to help the old man gone out of the back of the ox cart there. Where's Ryuji? Mariko?
That might be best told over, say, dinner tonight. It is a long tale.
Well, in that case, why don't we get you all situated and set up in Ryuji's home? In the meantime, he kind of offers an arm to help support Gon and helps to walk him back over to his son-in-law's home as the rest of you kind of unsaddle your horses and the ox off the cart and kind of take care of those small tasks that need to be done as soon as you've come back from a ride.
Where is our friend Sin at the moment?
Sin is in the back of the cart, waiting as well. Trying her best to keep her mouth shut as much as she kind of wants to be talking right now, but has understood that it might be best to keep a low profile for herself.
Yeah, Bisho's going to try to keep an even lower profile because of Magistrate Man and what's my scale I'm looking at? Okay, sorry, I have to look up the silhouettes again for what Bisho can turn into, so I'll be right back.
No worries.
Well, when Yui gets the chance, she will have a brief moment to ask Yuichi. So while we were gone, did anything happen we should be aware of? Did anyone come looking for us?
Yes, actually, the Lord Suzume's Karo, Yoshino came looking for the rest of you, kind of collected up the different riders that he sent when they saw the fire off in the distance. And he came and wanted to, came looking to find out what happened. He'd taken what prisoners were found, the maids, and some of the wounded and the dying, and he took them off to Kiden Suzume with him.
I see. Did he say anything while looking for us, or just that he was looking for us?
Well, let's just say that he was one of those malcontents and disgruntled folks I was speaking about earlier, who's never in a good mood and is always cantankerous, and was all sorts of in arms that I would give away village assets to a bunch of folks outside the clan to make off with in the night. But I decided to just impress upon my ability as magistrate of this town to send it off with the authority that my Yoriki was with them the whole time. So one hopes that we'll have covered all of us.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, yeah. Longer stories over dinner then.
Well, for the short story, you might want to get it from Ryuji's hand himself, and I will hand him the letter that Ryuji wrote.
Ah, all right. So at least he's alive then.
He is indeed.
Good. And he tucks it into the kind of the fold of his kimono, and says, "Well, then I'll be sure to read this just as soon as I get Gon settled and into the home here. And we'll meet up with you all later tonight here. Then I'll come back around after dinner."
That sounds good to me. I don't know about anybody else.
Of course. I'm gonna go stable my horse.
Okay, yeah, and it takes a little while. Heart of Oak is just always kind of wanting to take their time. They'd found a nice little patch of grass to graze on, and now you're trying to tug on the reins to get them to go where you want them. And it takes some doing, but eventually they decide they're done shortening that grass and come along with you.
Okay. I'll get set up, go into the stable, ask Sueno, would you mind checking in on the nursemaid for Mariko and just let her know a little of what's going on? Enough so she's not concerned.
Of course, I can do that for you. I'll go ahead and let Haru know that, yes, that Mariko and Ryuji are safe and that they have gone away for the moment, but that they are taken care of. I'll let her know.
All right. Thanks. And if you find anything else out around the village, let me know.
Of course, I'll ask around. I'll make myself known to be curious but discreet, as always.
Of course. I know you got it all handled, but after that letter, I don't think I'll be being discreet about anything if anyone reads it.
Fair enough.
Thanks. And then I'll come back.
So she goes wandering off to the other side of the village there, and you return back to the home. All right. So this point, it seems like everyone's kind of got their horses taken care of, the cart taken care of, the oxes turned back out to a pasture, and you all now find yourself in Ryuji's home without Ryuji. It is the four of you plus Gon and Sen and Sueno when she gets back.
Actually, correction, Bisho's there but not there at the moment. If anybody looked at the cart, there's one of his letters going, "I had other business to do. I will see you later." And Sin just has a pet fox again.
Okay. So, yes, when Sin is helped off the cart, this small fox is kind of accompanying her, and she is got that and her little turtle. So you get into the house, you see that Yoichi has set out a futon and has kind of propped Gen up into it, into a corner so that they can sit up, and has brought them a gourd of water from the well, and he's kind of sipping away at that for a bit. He seems like his back is strained and uncomfortable, but not as bad as he has been. He definitely seems to be on the mend at this point. Well, I suppose this is my home now, for the time being.
I'm sure that we can work with Yuichi to potentially hire some members of the village to keep house and cook for you and so on.
That would be good. I haven't had to care for myself in such a way since since before I met my wife. And he kind of gazes off, with a bit of melancholy to his features. But I should hope that I still know at least my way around enough to get by until that can be arranged. One hopes I can still make rice without burning it.
It's not that hard. Let me teach you how to do so, knowing full well that Ricci has very much hard time making anything nowadays.
Fox physically cringes as Ricci is saying, "Oh, I don't burn rice. I can show you how not to burn rice."
Ricci does not notice the fox cringe. This is probably a good thing.
Yes, he kind of makes himself back to the back of the house and starts kind of banging around with a few pots and going through what things Ryuji has left in the pantry. You're kind of familiar with it after your first time here, so yeah, you get together a few things and get a pot on to start to boil. So, what are our plans here from here? Sawagan asks.
I think we're going to Foxlands. I think our travel papers will carry us that far. I'll need to do something else to get travel papers to the Lion. Well, I might be able to use mine on the way back, but it's always more complicated with the Lion Clan lands.
It's not that complicated. Surely you'll just be with me. And yeah, we definitely want to make sure the paperwork is intact and rightfully checked, but you'll be with me and I can vouch for you all my friends.
Well, that will be something. Fox Clan lands are closer, so.
That is true.
And it seems as if Yuichi is already inclined to want to assist us in the ways that he can. So having a magistrate's stamp and letters to... he reaches back and kind of winces at his back a little. But having his authority and papers to go along with him could go a long way to hopefully providing you with the necessary travel arrangements.
Indeed. Is your back bothering you, Isawagan? Should I take a look at it again?
I think it's fine until tonight. How about we wait until then to have a look at it? I'm already sitting up right now as it is. I don't feel like having to readjust myself all over again.
That's understandable. Definitely I want to have one last look over before we head out.
He kind of waves you off a bit. I understand. You're a duteous student of medicine, and I will not not wave you off too much more today, but let us wait till tonight for the changing of the bandages.
We don't want to change them terribly too often.
Nor while you're cooking. That would be pretty less than ideal.
Indeed.
Keep you focused on your task there.
Gansama, what will you tell Yoshiro, the Kuro, if he comes back to town?
Oh, what to tell Yoshino? Well, I mean, we have the letters from Ryuji and all of you about what happened with my Yojimbo and where they've gone off to. And so I suppose we'll have to stay to those stories that they have made a pact and have decided to follow through on it and are in the spirit realms now.
I was just confirming.
But no, I hope to stay on story, but I will do my best to not get myself tripped up in all the different permutations of how things came about the way they did.
Did you have like feelings about it too, or you just accepting as it is?
I feel a certain level of responsibility, knowing that I was tasked to bring back Mariko, and I intended to, and I thought we had hopefully worked out some system too. Unfortunately, my Yojimbo had similar orders, but apparently he felt that we did not go far enough in making sure that Mariko was to come with us, and that is the most troubling part, is how much of that responsibility I bear and how we explain Seiji's disappearance and loss as well.
Will the Order of Bethany come after you?
Probably at some point. If not them, then they will just task it to other magistrates of the Phoenix. The Asawa will want to talk with me. I am a daimyo of a family, of a vassal family there. The Shinomiya will be without their head for much longer than they thought. My nephew can run things fairly well in my stead, but he's still young, not ready to take on the full mantle of leadership, I think, yet. He's a bit overwhelmed. His brother will help him some, but I do worry what the Asawa will do to them without my being there.
Well, perhaps if they came with a healer, they might be able to get you home sooner if they were feeling friendly.
One could hope.
Yeah, with a bit of hope and the fortune's blessings, we can hopefully get through this without too much more trouble for them and for my family. But it is a worry, especially if I'll be here for another few months until winter comes. And hopefully with that, we'll see Ryuji and Mariko again, possibly Seiji, and we can figure things out then.
Indeed. I will write to you if we find any news.
I appreciate it, and just know that this home is always open to you if this problem persists into your own lives and you ever need a place to return to. I'm grateful that you all have kind of accepted me and at least understand what had happened, and that while I am a bit at fault here, it is not solely on my shoulders. All that happened here, and I'm just thankful that no one else had to lose their lives or homes because of it.
All right. Well, I think that I will take my leave of the place. I bow and step out.
Okay, so you step out, and it's not long after you step out that you see Sueno walking back towards Ryuji's house, and the two of you catch up quickly. And she says that Haru is thankful that Mariko is safe and that Ryuji is all right, and that she will be available if they return anytime soon, and just to let her know then. But for now, she seems to just be glad to see us have returned here. She's a bit had a few questions about Ryuji, but yeah, had a few questions about Ryuji, and I did my best to just let him know that he and Mariko are safe, but I kind of deflected most other answers about that for the time being.
That's good. Well, if anyone else wants to talk to Yoichi,
Let him take care of it. He is their magistrate. No, I think you're absolutely right. We'll have the magistrate take care of it as best we can.
Mhm.
All right. So, whatever you and Swain are going to get up to outside the house.
I was going to see if anybody else wanted to talk to Yoichi.
If Gen stepped out and seemed to be, taking her leave, maybe she even mentioned something about going to Yoichi's place, in which case you would be not far behind.
Yeah, and Yoichi's not too far off. He's kind of sitting by a tree reading the letter that Ryuji had given him, and he's kind of finishing it up a bit after you all exit the house. And he's standing back up and kind of looking around and gives you all a bit of a kind of solemn nod of kind of understanding at that point. I'm not sure if you guys want to go over to him or wave him over.
I'll go over to him.
Okay. So, yeah, you'll make your way over to him, and he's just like, so, the boy's gone off to quite an adventure. He'll have some stories to tell for sure after he gets back. I'm sure everyone will think they're nothing more but tall tales, but he'll have stories nonetheless.
Yeah, I thought it might be a story that would amuse you, sir.
Should amuse everyone in the village when he gets back. I just hope that the trouble doesn't follow him there as well. Although hopefully it is beyond the reach of those who did our village harm.
So, was that out of game question? Was that letter sealed beforehand? Do we know what was in the letter?
I would imagine you guys knew what was in that letter. Yeah, that a lot of you kind of writing together and whatnot. I don't know if everyone read the letter, verbatim of what Ryuji told Yoichi, but it's fairly close to explaining what happened.
So it mentions all like the crazy parts too.
It does mention. Let's see, what would it mention? It would definitely mention all the bits about challenging the fox messenger, traveling to the shrine, the outcome of the duel, and the terms of which he will be leaving and traveling to Inari's realm.
Now, the one thing that wasn't in the letter. So yes, Gen did read it. I remember that Gen read it. The one thing we were very sure we didn't want to put in the letter was that he was coming back.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That he was gone to Chikshido, and who knows if or when he'll be back. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, I thought there was a bit of a proofreading when you guys were trying to decide what was being written, because you guys were writing all those letters before the transfer, as it were.
Yeah, I think the only one who didn't was Bisho.
Yeah.
The one thing that we want to make sure was not that there was no big Isawa army waiting for them when they popped back up. So that was the only way to do that. So
yes.
Yeah. To make sure, yeah. And it doesn't mention anything about Bisho or who they may or may not be, anything like that. So yeah, no.
No, Bisho actually looked over the reports and, glanced.
No, it's like Bisho's the only one who didn't read it. Also, this is what I meant.
Yeah, I would say looked at them. I'm not sure if they read them.
Had words,
Mm-hmm.
Those sure are words. So, okay. So then, sort of realizing that Yoichi's probably still digesting all of this story. Just sort of talks to him, like, oh, I honestly, have you heard a more just like ridiculous story before? Because
Oh, well, I mean, it wouldn't be Sparrowlands without some sort of ridiculous story that tends to bend the realm of possibility.
oh, that's fair. That's fair.
This is one of them, though. One of the top ones.
Yeah, well, I look forward to seeing how Sparrowlands passes this one. In some ways around it. Yeah, actually, it would be good if
I
Sparrow
was
were
just
the
gonna
one.
ask, will you send this on to Lord Suzume?
Of course. I assume that you have your own reports, or at least versions to tell as well. In case they come asking, they were definitely curious to interview you all.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what the proper etiquette here is for this sort of situation. Would it be rude to have you be the one to relay the story, or is Lord Suzume going to demand some sort of first-hand experience?
Well, I did tell them that the cart was merely a loan, and that I should pass on shall we say, an invitation to Kiden Suzume to you all, but I wasn't under any orders to apprehend you all and bring you in for questioning, as it were.
Again, what do you think? Do you think you might view it as a slight if we don't take him up on the invitation and give him a first-hand accounting?
I think he would love for us to show up and turn in a first-hand accounting, and I believe that there's considerable reason to believe that he will not let us refuse in any sense until he's completely done with us either. Therefore, maybe a small amount of neglecting to report as his desire might be in order.
It's true. We certainly wouldn't want to accidentally foster any resentment in these lands or grudges or maybe it'll be nice. Maybe it'll just be nice, what nice food and storytelling, or we have to talk to Ricci about it too.
I think that we need to get Sen where she needs to go before we can afford an extended stay with Lord Suzume.
At that, Yuichi kind of brightens up a bit and kind of raises a hand under his chin and looks up and kind of past you all and is like, "Oh, is that the name of your friend that you came back with?"
Yes, a Yojimbo for Lord God now on a mission.
Oh, Gon has already gone ahead and got himself a replacement Yojimbo after all this.
Apparently.
The kami work in mysterious ways.
Well then, when I come back around for dinner later tonight, perhaps you could introduce me.
Sure, why not?
Wonderful. Well, so you're hoping to get Gon and his new Yojimbo settled someplace else then?
Well, she has an additional request, so we'll be moving on, but they'll be settling here for now until potentially the Phoenix show up.
And just what sort of welcome are we expecting from the Phoenix, do you think?
I wish I knew.
Well, I'll speak with Gon about that later as well. Well, is there anything else?
Nope. Just wanted you to be informed. Thank you for the use of the ox cart.
Of course, and thank you very much for bringing me this letter from Ryuji. This is definitely a tale that I'll have to remember to tell around town to remember him by.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if anything else comes up, we'll remember it during dinner anyway, so suppose we should see how that's going, huh?
And I'll see you later tonight then.
Indeed.
And he goes ahead and makes his way off back towards his house at the down the lane there. And Sueno just kind of pipes up. I think he might be onto a bit of, well, not necessarily who Sin is, but that Sin and Gon showing up together at this time, a new Yojimbo and the like. We might want to shore up that story a bit more before he comes back for dinner.
I think that we should probably leave town before he comes for dinner, but that's just me.
Ooh, you think so?
Yeah.
Well, at least that would give him probable excuse for why we have turned down Lord Suzume's offer to visit. Well, let's get back to the house and the others then.
Well, I mean, absconding is something we've done before. I'm sure we could do it again, but this time, let's at least take some of the rice with us. Like, pack it up.
We can get an inn.
Well, I was excited for food now. Wait, are you really that afraid of Ricci's cooking? Again?
Ricci's cooking is great. It was wonderful, the last meal he made, but
I mean, I thought so too,
I
but
just don't necessarily want to deal with another interrogation.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, he has the letter. He really has everything he needs, and well, All right. Well,
And I don't want to face a bunch of questions regarding why I did what I did and all that stuff.
that's valid. Sounds good to me. Let's well, I'm already mostly packed up anyways. I don't really unpack places. Always be ready to be on the move, so I'm good to go whenever you are. And I feel like we can get reaching Zen and Bisha to do the same.
What do you mean? Bisha left.
No. Yeah, well, he'll figure it out eventually. We'll leave another note for him and tell him we left. It should be fine.
All right.
He's surprisingly quick on his feet, Alternatively, we could leave him here.
Could we? Please? I apologize. I shouldn't say that.
Oh. Well, I mean, that is an option if we don't leave a note.
Yeah, he's very helpful some of the time. I just wish he would.
It's not as though he won't be coming back anyways.
I don't know where he went.
So
Maybe he went back to Scorpion Lands.
that too. That too. And if we leave a note, then other people will know where we went. And I can't write it like code.
I just wish we could rely on him, that's all. But
Yeah, I feel you there.
oh well. He must have some very big commitments to the Scorpion to keep himself so cagey, so I guess we can't.
Either that or a very weak stomach.
Nobody has that weak a stomach. He's not some delicate maiden.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. He wasn't able to be around while, during your duel. Watched from afar for sure, but wasn't able to be around. Maybe he's just really squeamish. Just immensely squeamish.
I doubt it. I don't think they let you graduate from Kudenbayushi dojos being that squeamish, but I think that he most likely was in a position where he was supposed to report on everything to his lord. And how would you put that into a report?
Yeah, that's fair.
Really. And if you put it into a report, then you have to explain it. And then who would believe it?
Probably just so many follow-up letters and so many follow-up messages being like, okay, I'm gonna need you to elaborate more on this part. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, so I mean, if I were him, I would just like, I'm not here, so then I don't have to report it.
Oh, maybe that's what's happening.
Save the paperwork.
Oh, and he could never tell us that either, so that would make sense, actually. Oh, it's all coming together. And here I was thinking he was just, couldn't handle a little bit of blood or...
I doubt it's that. But he probably has things he has to report. And, sometimes it's best if you don't see, I suppose. But, yeah. Fortunately, we haven't. I just got Kokoro stabled, but, oh well, I think I can eventually get him moving again.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's catch Ricci and... Oh, that's it. Let's do that. No notes. Ricci, Sen. And off we go.
All right. So you guys head back to the house in time for Ricci to start dishing up some rice, and you'll be happy to note it doesn't seem to be burned. It's very, very simple, very just quick and easy rice. He's starting to form into some onigiri, but yeah, it's...
I didn't add anything this time.
Exactly. He wasn't trying anything special.
All I need is just a little bit of seaweed just to add that little bit of grip to this. And then here you go. Onigiri. It's perfect. Sin-sama, you're going to love these. It just basic rice balls.
And she kind of takes hold of it and starts to eat at it delicately and just kind of nods. And This is wonderful, Richie-san. Thank you so much.
I glad I could actually get you to like some of this stuff. I mean, this is more of your domain, so you kind of know a little bit more about this than I do. But we can flavor this. You can add stuff to these rice balls. It is having one of these on the go is perfect. I just glare at the fox that just started snorting.
And as Richie says, on the go. So yeah, as Yui and Gen come in the door.
Talking about on the go.
Wait, why?
Oh, good, you made the portable version. Let's go. We're heading out. Yep.
Something happened?
It's time to go.
Yep, it's time to go.
But we told Yoichi that we were going to stay for dinner.
Yes, actually. If we don't, yeah, well, leave some for him. But if we don't head out now, we might have to answer as to why we are not taking up Lord Suzume up on his invitation just yet to go visit him. And I think that with our friend sent here, we should probably take care of their business first. Yes?
I don't like this.
Yoichi-san is getting curious about Sen.
All right,
Yeah.
Okay. Before we go, I do have one thing to check on. I need to make sure that Asawa-sama is going to be okay before we leave.
Oh, sure. I mean, they probably definitely have a doctor of some sort here also that can take care of.
Yes, but I have made it my responsibility.
Not as skilled as you.
I've made it my responsibility to make sure that he will be taken care of.
Go on.
And so I'll head over to, I guess, the back room to where Asawa Gan is chilling out at.
Yeah, he's kind of stripped himself down to the waist and is laying down face down on the futon. Well, this is the last time I'll be at your tender care, Richie. I just I want to apologize for what I said earlier about your sensei. It was rude and uncalled for, and I'm sorry. He's trained you well.
Indeed. Thank you for your apology. Now I will start taking care of you. Just do another quick glance over, make sure everything's fine, make sure nothing's gotten reinfected. Yeah.
So the wound looks clean, if still a bit tender. Doesn't seem to have any signs of infection or anything like that. He seems to be on the mend, but again, getting a knife in the back along all those muscles is going to be a while till he's up and about as he should be. But you're pretty sure that you're past the worst aspects of the infection that he was suffering when you checked on him after the fight.
Okay. So just to let you know, everything's looking fine. But if you get any kind of issues, just go talk with Haru here inside of the village. She's got a little bit of medical knowledge. She should be able to take care of you if something does come up.
All right, then. I appreciate it. So it sounds like you all are getting ready to leave?
Yeah, I guess we're heading out early. I don't have the full story myself, but apparently Yoichi is getting a little bit more interested in Sen than we care for. So I think we're heading out before any more questions get arisen in that regard.
Fair enough.
I'm not happy with it, but it's probably for the best.
Well then,
when Richie comes back to try to get more details about what's going on, Yui's just like stuffed a rice ball in her face and just like.
Well, I'm glad you're fed. Yeah. Please tell me we have some left over for at least tomorrow.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, this was mine.
Okay, just making sure. Which point I'll start packing up the rest of them to get them ready to go, and I'll be ready to head out here.
So how are we carrying the urns? I'm kind of curious.
Well, they were in the back of the ox cart. If you guys had left them there, they're there. If not, maybe you had some folks pick them up and bring them into Ryuji's home. Perhaps they're sitting there with Gon.
I figured that maybe we could have or procure some panniers for Richi's horse, which we would have had to get before we left the temple. Panniers are those baskets, one on either side of the horse. That
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that you can use for for transporting cargo. Yeah, I think something like that could work.
Yeah. Just get them onto the horse and that'll be fine.
So you guys can carry them with you that way, or you can keep them in Ryuji's home for now.
Oh no, Kodo-san's coming with me.
All right, then. Anything else you guys need to arrange for? You have horses for Richi and for Gen and Sueno. You do not have a horse for Sen or Yui. Yui, did you come on foot or did you come by horse? I forget.
I mean, if everyone else was on horse, I imagine that. Oh no, I was in the ox cart.
Yeah. So some of you might have to double up or set out by foot and horse. Most people do a bit of walking in Rokugan to get from place to place, so it's not totally uncalled for in that regard.
I would say Richi will give up his seat to Sen Sama.
Okay. Yeah, and you can go ahead and have the urn and Sin on your horse, and you can walk ahead and guide the horse. Meanwhile, like Gen says, Kino Kokoro is definitely stout enough to take Gen and Sueno no problem.
Mm-hmm. So that frees Sueno's horse.
Yeah.
If Yui and Richi want to ride that way, that works too.
That works as well if you guys want to double up there.
Yui has no preference, so whatever's easier, and that might be faster. So
If it's faster, then sure, let's do it.
All right. You all very quickly start to resaddle your horses, and Kino Kokoro is in no mood to get started again. So I'm going to need Gen to make me a survival check here.
Actually, I had a question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I do have a little skill to talk to animals.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it needs to be in a human voice or not, but fox squeaks might be good enough for this one.
I believe so. It's all magical translation anyways.
Cool. I'm gonna use that so I can talk horse language and maybe convince him to be okay.
All right. So what is that spell that you're going to be using here?
It is Nature's Touch. It's a support action. It's a T1 theology air check targeting yourself. And I think I'll make that check.
I think so. All right. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. So how'd that theology roll go?
It went so well, but I only kept a success because I only needed one success. And I kept an opportunity, which I am spending, so the horse acts favorably toward me.
Got it. Due to your politeness, fulfilling one request that does not put it in danger without having to be convinced with bribes of food or other subsequent checks, which is very useful. So how do you sweet talk this stubborn horse, this grumpy stubborn horse who has just finally gotten unsaddled and is looking to be saddled again within not even an hour?
Its name's Oakheart.
Heart of Oak or Kino Kokoro?
Okay, Kino Kokoro. Kino Kokoro-san. Hi.
I
know that you were just unsaddled, and saddles are, well, let's just put it frankly, uncomfortable and chafing. But we really need to go. And it would be, I think, in all our best interests to leave this town for, better pastures. As you can see, there's none around here. And we were thinking about taking a trip to Foxlands.
With that soft moss. I've heard of it.
I hear you can actually suck the dew off that moss and it tastes even sweeter than the moss itself. And not to mention, they do have, well, areas of grass that, while not only good to bathe in, I hear it's, well, rather good to eat.
There's barely a patch enough grass to make a snack here. Not enough to roll around. These poor folks, they live in dust and dirt and rock.
I bet the other horses have been telling you all about it.
He kind of starts to stamp his feet now in kind of in urgency. So I could roll my back in grass once again. Let us go. Tell them. Faster. Get me saddled. And like for the first time that Gen has ever seen, Kino Kokoro seems to actually be in a hurry to get moving somewhere. After just a quick little couple of clicks and whistles and little bits of playfulness from the fox, you're not sure if the horse is fed up with the fox pestering it or what, but when you get there, Kino Kokoro is just about ready to get going and is like just presenting itself to be saddled in a way that you have never had to do without, a good 5 to 10 minutes of coaxing and bribing with oats and whatnot here and there.
Wow. I am impressed. I was all ready to go. All right. Let's go.
Yeah, the horse is as ready to go as you are. Yeah, so you get it saddled back up again. You and Sueno mount up. The rest of you are kind of doubling up or with Sin's case, single, but riding along with the remains of Akoto-san. And yeah, at that point, you guys are making a kind of hasty exit from Plainsview Village. So much so that, visitors, the villagers, taken aback that some of you are leaving so soon. Going already? You just got here. We don't even have a chance to thank you for everything you've done.
We wouldn't want to impose upon your great kindness.
Well, thank you for that. That's quite the sentiment. Well, if you find your way back here again, know that you all have friends here in Plainsview Village.
Indeed we do. Thank you very much for your hospitality.
And you're kind of sent off with a bit of a wave, just a small smattering, about 5 or 6 folks that were near the stables when you came in to saddle up, and yeah, you're leaving them quickly behind. All the more so before Yoichi even catches word that you are all on your way out. And yeah, you're now back onto the trails once more, making your way up north. I'm Robert, or Bayushi Shinichi, your host and narrator. Thank you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday, and if you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/courtgames. To reach out to us, email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
I'm Tiff, and I played Kuniyui. You can also find us on the web at courtgamespod.com, Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and Twitter at L5R FNS.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akoto Richi. You can find me on Twitter or on Twitch as Churcher Games.
I'm Paul, and I was playing Shishiro Bisho. If you want to follow my other projects, I am the GM of 2 LGBT+ podcasts, Tales of Swordfall at Swordfall D&D for D&D 5e, and Gates of Orchid and Iris at GOIL5R for L5R 5e.
This was Jeanne, aka Kakita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. If you like, you can also find me on the CourtGames RPG podcast, at the Winter Garden of the Kakita website, or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with the Rokugani Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount. Ep.23 Radio, where gamers roll.